Hello friends, we will be talking about the kingdom fungi where we will be talking about Chytridiomycota, that is Syncytium, Blastocladiomycota, Allomyces, Coelomyces, Zygomycota, that is Saxinia, Pilobolus and Entomopthora. So fungi, as we are aware, are the group of the plants which are eukaryotic, unicellular or multicellular, non-vascular, that is xylem and phloem are absent, and they have filamentous structure which is mesh-like structure known as a mycelium, except in the yeast, because yeast has a structure where it reproduces by the buds instead of the mycelium. The fungi possess a cell wall which is made up of chitin and polysaccharides. They store the food in the form of starch. The fungi reproduce by the means of spores. The fungi generally exhibit the phenomena of alternation of generation. The fungi lack chlorophyll and hence they cannot perform the function of photosynthesis. It is only due to this reason that they are present as saprophytes or as parasites. Biosynthesis of chitin occurs in fungi. The fungi are parasitic and they can infect the host. First we talk about the general characters of Chytridiomycota. Chytridiomycota, it is the only phylum in the fungi that possesses motile cells at least once in life cycle. They can be found in terrestrial and aquatic ecosystem. They are morphologically relatively simple and distinguished from other groups of fungi due to the presence of single flagellum which may be at the posterior end. Most of the members of Chytridiomycota are parasites and they grow on the organic matter. They do not form colonies of branched hyphae, that is mycelia, like the non-flagellate fungi, but they produce multinucleate spheroidal bodies referred to as thalli. These spheroidal bodies absorb nutrients from their surrounding and they are transformed into sporangia which release the zoospores when the nutrients become limiting. So that means when they are present as spherical structures, they are able to absorb the nutrients from the surrounding cells, and whenever the nutrients becomes limiting, they form the zoospores, right? So the first we are going to talk about is Syncytium, which is also causes a disease in potato known as potato wart or black scab of potato. So as you can see in potato scab disease, that is Syncytium, you will see certain callus-like growth or warts in the tuber of potatoes. This generally infects the potato, but the disease can also be present in the plants where you may have certain warts or galls in the stem. The diseased potato appear as dark brown or black colored cauliflower-like growth. Galls or tubers may be found on aerial parts as well. This parasite generally thrives in cool and moist climates. So that means in our country, places like Darjeeling in West Bengal, Solan in Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. So these are the places which have cool and moist climate where Syncytium will thrive and grow. The fungi can survive for many years, mainly up to 30 years in soil in the form of cyst. So the cyst has a hard covering which allows it to stay in the soil. Syncytium endobioticum is holocarpic. Holocarpic means the whole of the fungi is transformed into the reproductive phase and it occurs as parasite in the epidermal cell of the host. The life cycle of Syncytium, as we can see here, can be divided into asexual and sexual cycles. So in asexual cycle, meiosis is absent, where we see that the zoospore infects the tubers and then it forms a sorus type of structure. This absorbs the nutrients from the surrounding cells. When this sorus becomes or faces nutrient scarcity, then it forms the sporangium. The sporangium may be of two types, the summer sporangium or the winter sporangium. The winter sporangium will form the gametangium. The gametangium may be male and female gametangium which undergo copulation and then form a zygote. The zygote again survives inside the epidermal cell of the host and then it undergoes cell divisions and then releases the zoospores. The zoospores can again infect the new potato host and then undergo the asexual cycle. So as we can see, there are two different types of sporangia, the winter sporangia and the summer sporangia. Winter sporangia, these are the resting sporangia and they are generally spherical. They are present in as small crumbs in the soil. So they can survive in the soil because they have a thick cell, they have a thickened wall. Summer sporangia, whereas they are thin walled and they are transparent. Zoospores can even be visible inside the summer sporangia. The zoospores, as we can see in the image here, they have a whiplash type of flagella. The zoospores swell into prosori. They become smooth, black, thick-walled, golden. These are the prosori, golden brown, around 40 to 50 micrometers in diameter and present at the bottom of the cell. And then these release the zoospores which cause the further infections. When conditions becomes unfavorable, the zoospores fuse together to form a zygote, and at this point the host cell contains the zygote does not swell but it divides to form an outer layer to the winter sporangia. The resting spores induce hypertrophy of the infected tissue, resulting in the formation of the warts. The tissue will rot into the down into the soil in the winter months to release the resting zoospore into the soil. Because of the thickened wall, the sori are capable to overcome the unfavorable conditions. So here we see the disease caused by the black potato wart or the black scab of potato, wherein we see the cauliflower type of outgrowth, which is actually nothing but the hypertrophy itself due to the formation of this fungi. The next group is the Blastocladiomycota, which are aquatic fungi, and these also produce the posterior uniflagellate zoospores. They live in freshwater habitats like mud and soil, where they operate as saprotrophs, decomposing plants and animal debris. They can also be parasitizing the arthropods. These fungi show an alteration of generation in the haploid generation and the diploid sporophytic generation. They show the presence of mycelia and thus they are eucarpic and show a extensive vegetative growth. So in the previous example we saw the Synchytrium where the fungi was holocarpic and the whole of the fungi was transformed into reproductive parts, but this group shows the presence of an extensive growth. So in this example we will be studying about Allomyces. First we see the life cycle and the structure of Allomyces. As you can see here, the Allomyces can undergo asexual phase or the sexual phase. In asexual phase, it forms the mitospores. The mitospores undergo a period of encystment and then they germinate to form a morphologically parents-like individual. So that is, it undergoes the asexual reproduction. Whereas the formation of the megasporangium, here as you can see, it all forms the zoospores. The zoospores form the gametophyte. The gametophyte and the sporophyte are morphologically similar, with the only difference that the gametophyte is going to have gametangia, whereas the asexual phase here, if we can pair the mitosporangia or the megasporangia. So these zoospores from the megasporangia will form the male and the female gametes, which will undergo an isogamy. An isogamy means that one of the zoospores is smaller and one is larger. They form a zygote which again undergoes encystment, and then they produce the zoospores, the sporophyte. So this is the sporophyte of Allomyces, and this is the gametophyte of Allomyces.